Hello there, people who have access to the internet and who are currently using it to watch this video. My name is Pun Food, or just Pun if you prefer. And last time I left you on a cliffhanger right outside this, the restaurant, the Treasure Eatery, right? We gathered all the clues, we just evolved, Florian, all good stuff, right? So we gathered all the clues, and now we can go in and fight the gym leader. And that was the cliffhanger I left you on, so, there we go, okay. So, let's go in, not waste any time, and do exactly that, because I know this episode's gonna be on the longer side. Oh, yeah, we were also given our own clue, which we haven't done yet, so I guess we can, find out how the regulars order their food, A secret item. No, okay. What about you? You seem like a regular. You a regular here? Okay. Here's a tip for you. A nice squeeze of lemon. Okay, so we got our clues, and that kind gentleman just told us that we need to have a squeeze of lemon. Alright, so I hope you're able to figure out our special secret menu item. If you know all the answers, you can do this as soon as you start the gym test. You do not need to battle the other people and get their answers. But the first thing, from the ice cream truck, we learned that we need to get grilled rice balls. Then, from the squawk ability, we learned we need to have a medium serving. And then, we learned from the Stark area, we're surrounded by stairs, that we need extra crispy fire blast. And that kind man over there told us to order with lemon. Gotcha, medium rice balls, extra crispy with lemon. Rumble, rumble. There's the gym arena. Battle court? Battle court. I think it's a court, right? Is it an arena or a court? I forget. Anyway, I passed the gym test. I now have the right to challenge the gym leader. Alright. So, gym test is as simple as that. All that other stuff last time was extra, but more so to fill it out. So let's go over the team here quickly. We're leading with Palmera. Low sweep isn't the best move that we could have, but like, I really don't have anything better. Other than like, yeah, I don't have anything better. So we're leading Palmera just because electric typing, or maybe it would be better to lead Furia. You know what? I changed my mind. We're leading Furia. We're leading Furia because fighting's good against normal. Decent stats. We won't be able to use Rage Fist, but, we'll get to that later. Then, we are bringing along Lucas, just because I don't know when else we'll use Lucas, really. The next couple battles are not advantageous. We're bringing along Palmera, electric fighting type. Fighting's good against normal. We're bringing along Florian, because just evolved. We're bringing along Winter, because don't know when else we'll use an ice type, and also just evolved. And we're bringing along Allure, because just evolved. That's kind of the team, and I'll explain why as soon as we get into the battle here. But, oh, I didn't even explain the good as gold as ability. We're immune to status moves with Allure. Like, honestly, if this thing had any higher stats, I would consider this thing like a legendary level of Pokemon. It's pretty powerful. Anyway, thick, fat, overgrow, natural cure, opportunist, everything checks out. Alright, I guess I'm ready to fight the gym leader. We're not really running any items just because I haven't really considered the items yet. Anyway, do I want to fight the exceptional everyman himself, Gym Leader Larry? Yes, I would. In that case, please head on to the battle court. Larry, you're up! That kind regular over there, that's Larry. And, hello. I'm Larry. I'm assigned to work as the gym leader of the Medali Gym. good job on making your way through the gym test. And well, maybe try the other dishes on the menu too sometime. Everything's good here. Anyway, my boss will dock my pay if I spend too much time chit-chatting. Let's get this battle over with. He is just the standard average Joe, you know, working 9 to 5 office job, you know, and he's incredible for it. Thank you for doing business with us today. I, Larry, will be at your service. Alright. Larry is by no means the most powerful gym leader, but he is certainly the one with like the highest, you know, reputation in possibly the entire entire Pokemon fandom. Simply because he is just an average guy working as the gym leader. He doesn't necessarily want to be here. He just wants to get his paycheck and go home. You know, and that is perfect for what the normal type is. The normal type is a very basic type. Basically, you know, the normal type is not super effective against any other type. And it's actually resisted by rock and steel, you know, which makes sense. Like, you try to hit rocks or steels with basic, you know, tackles and scratches, it's not going to do much. And then, normal is also, what do you want to learn? Body Slam, okay, sure. Normal also has no effect on Ghost, because what's an average person gonna do to a Ghost, right? Like, you can't touch a Ghost if you're normal, just, you know. So, you know, offensively, it's kind of terrible until you realize that normal hits all the other types for neutral damage, you know, meaning that at most you could be immune to normal, and at best you could be doubly resistant to normal if you're Rock and Steel, but Rock and Steel is so vulnerable to other Pokemon, so, like, are you really gonna be a Rock and Steel type? You know, and then on defensive end, normal is completely immune to Ghost types, and its only weakness is fighting. I love the normal type, and in my opinion, normal is my favorite Pokemon type. I guess in that way I relate to Larry. We're fighting a Dunsparce here, which, you know, that's, you know, nothing too special. My favorite Pokemon, but, like, it's not that much of a challenge considering, unfortunately, this gym doesn't have a lot of difficulty, even if you're appropriately leveled. Simply because of where you are in the game, it's very easy to get Pokemon that outpower this gym, even if you are appropriately leveled. This is still better than getting cornered by my boss. So, this gym isn't the most difficult. The most difficult thing is his ace, Staraptor, who will A, intimidate the Pokemon you currently have out, and B, be super effective against any fighting types that you may send in to deal with it. I honestly think we're gonna try Palmera here. So, normal I think is one of my favorite types, because defensively it's really hard to hit, and offensively it hits pretty hard. You're pretty good. I might end up losing this. Come on, Larry, step it up a notch. We got hungry customers waiting. Give them something to cheer for, you hear? It's just kind of awkward when there's no real voice acting. This is like one of this and the Piers battle in Sword and Shield are like the ones where I'm like, please voice act. Well, you heard the good folks. I suppose I can put on a bit more of a show. Alright. He's gonna terrestrialize. So, yeah. I think there are a couple cases where there's crowds and they could have gotten some crowd voice acting. It's not too big a deal. It's like this battle is pretty easy in the first place, but, you know, Aerial Ace. We don't resist that as well as I thought we did. Okay. We're gonna low sweep. I think it's time to show you that real life isn't all just being true to yourself. Facade. I love Larry's characterization. You know, he's just a plain and simple man, but he doesn't necessarily just get to be plain and simple. You know? Anyway, we'll go with Allure. So, Normal, I think, is a very good type. It just sucks that putting Normal type on any other Pokemon tends to make them weaker unless it's Normal Psychic type, because all it adds is a Ghost immunity, and it adds a Fighting weakness. You know, which isn't exactly the best. Aerial Ace, we're gonna resist it, but that's his only damaging move. So, Allure is kind of broken for this fight. Should have just started with Allure. But yeah, Normal, adding it on to other types isn't that good, but being pure Normal type is actually decent. Sure, you don't have any resistances, but you can switch into Ghost moves, and you only have one weakness. It's the only type to only be weak to one thing. You know, so that's pretty good for Normal type. Honestly, Normal type is just kind of the generic filler type where most of the moves get categorized under. Most Pokemon get Normal type moves, and a lot of Normal type Pokemon get a lot of coverage moves. Normal is sort of our plain type, but don't confuse that for no type, because Normal is still technically an element in the Pokemon universe, and so when people say, you know, something like, you know, well, why is it still resisted by Steel and Rock, you know, and Ghost's immune to it, you know, if it's just, you know, nothing and, you know, whatever. You know, Normal is still an element in Pokemon's universe. That doesn't mean that Normal's identity should be twisted ever to say that it's super effective on something, you know, or that it should have no weaknesses. You know, it especially shouldn't have no weaknesses. But I think it's important to keep in mind that even though Normal is still an element, it's like the one Pokemon element that doesn't really play by the same rules as everything else. I really appreciate Normal for what it is, and if Normal becomes underwhelming, I think it's just people come to Pokemon. Those people probably come to Pokemon for cool fire-breathing lizards and turtles that shoot water from their back, right? You know, and they don't come for the plain boring, you know, rats, you know, whatever, right? I'm not necessarily here for the plain boring rats, but Normal types can be very creative in design. Suffice to say, I think Normal type is underappreciated, and I think Normal type is the Pokemon type to say, you know, you're not good in spite of your type, you're not bad because of your type, you're not bad in spite of your type, and you're not good because of your type. You're just, that's who you are, and you're good or bad based on your learn set and your stats. I think that's truly what it means to be a Normal type, you know. So, you know, I think Normal is underrated, and I guess I've said my piece on that. You know, this gym battle was so short, I felt like I had to take extra time just to explain my thoughts on the Normal type. Anyway, you certainly threw me for a loop. I could make him sound more boring, but I feel like that's not who he is. Like, I feel like he's a boring man, but he's also an average man, right? So, you're rather strong, aren't you? Enough to bring out my poker face, even. I lost, so that means I have to give you a gym badge. But that battle made me a bit hungry. Care to join me for a meal? Alright. We defeated Larry, and we get to eat some food and get our gym badge. Having 5 gym badges in hand makes it easier to catch Pokemon of up to level 45. Oh, and they'll actually listen to you, too. This is for you, though hopefully a child like you has no need to put on its namesake. Facade! This move's power is doubled if the user is poisoned, burned, or paralyzed. Basically, if you have status effect, you do more damage. Which is neat, and it also plays into having a facade, putting on a brave face in spite of circumstances, perchance, you know, right? And Larry sort of is saying that, hey, you know, he's not entirely satisfied with his life, but he puts on a brave face, he deals with it anyway, he doesn't show weakness, he stands unflinching in spite of all that. And I appreciate him for it, but also, he should really see a therapist. The dishes here, they've all got flavor. Good flavor, I mean. Oh, don't worry about the bill. I do earn a salary, after all. Now I'd better get back to work, if you'll excuse me. Alright, well that was the normal gym. Normal may be one of my favorite types, he may be one of my favorite gym leaders, but it was still pretty easy. Another gym leader defeated. Well done. Rika informed me that there was an unusual trainer worth keeping an eye on. It seems she meant you. I guessed as much. I had the pleasure of observing your last match. I was impressed by the fantastic skill you showed. If you manage to keep your momentum and achieve champion rank, I will be very interested in inviting you to the Pokemon League and... Hey! Pun Food! I got my team all picked out! And I saw you battling the gym leader. You just keep getting better. How good to get to see you again, Champion Nemona. It has certainly been a while. Whoa, wait, La Primera? With Pun Food? Is she that important? Wait, did I forget to give you the full explanation? Everyone calls Miss Gita La Primera because she's just that. She's the real #1, even higher than us regular champions. She's the top champion. I do indeed hold that claim, alongside my role as chairwoman of the Pokemon League, that is. I thought you were too busy to spend your time checking in on gyms. I'm not here to inspect the gym. I've come to scout some rather promising young talent. Whoa! I look away for 1 second and you're famous, Pun Food? But hey, I found Pun Food first. You may be La Primera, but you can't go stealing him from me. I suppose I'll have to get in line. That's right, come on, Pun Food, time for a battle. Quick, let's go, the battlefield's calling. One moment, please. Huh? What is it? I would very much like to observe this match, if that is all right. Oh, haha, totally fine by me. Sounds fun, right, Pun Food? Sure. Thank you kindly. I'm already excited to see you two face off. Let's be on our way then. I remember when I was playing through these games, I had this battle in Keskarava, the water gym, because my route, I did bug, I did grass, I did electric, but I also then did psychic and then water. So this battle always happens after the 5th gym, and it happens right after you beat the gym leader. So, it actually works out pretty well for normal, because you'll probably lead with a fighting type against Larry, and Nemona's lead is a rock type, which fighting is strong against. So, you know. But yeah, make sure to prepare for a back-to-back battle. She will heal you, but like, keep in mind what Pokemon you're bringing to fight Larry with, as well as what Pokemon you'll be using for Nemona. That is my advice. Anyway, you remember how it all works, right? Once you get badges from all the gyms, you get to throw down against the strongest Pokemon trainers around. Yes, you must face the Pokemon League. It is located to the northwest of Mesagoza. The Pokemon League is where trainers are reborn as champions, the greatest honor that they might dream of. Collecting 8 gym badges sets you up to take the champion assessment. If you can face the challenge of the final examiner and win, you'll become a champion. Just imagine how that moment would feel. Try getting into that champion mindset. Now set your sights on reaching that big important stage and let's battle! Excuse me one moment. I believe Pun Food's Pokemon may still be a little fatigued. Sorry, got a little caught up in my battle hunger. Well, you should be all in great shape now thanks to La Primera. Okay, Pun Food, time to put our game faces back on. Let's have us another fruitful battle. The one good thing about Larry is that nobody else is taking up his battle court in the restaurant. Because now we're having this battle on the street, which is a little weird, but that's just how it goes. Alright, we're challenged by Pokemon Trainer Nemona, who leads with Lycanroc. Like I said, starting with a fighting type is good. I know La Primera's watching, but no need to get worked up. Just stay cool. So, I don't know if I should go into this now. I might save it for later. Do I go for the super effect? I'm just gonna go for Rage Fist. Quick attack doesn't do much. Rage Fist. Ah. Okay. I'm just gonna keep using Rage Fist until I can't. Anyway. Oh, that's pretty good. Must have been a roll. But, okay, Goomy will just stay in and keep using Rage Fist. So, she now adds a Goomy to her team, which, of course, is weak to Dragon, Fairy, and Ice. I brought an Ice type. I don't know that I'll need it, though, because I can probably one-shot it, because Goomy, even though it is technically part of a pseudo-legendary line, it is pretty weak in its basic form, although it is probably one of my favorite dragon types. Anyway, Pomo will just keep staying in. Yeah, we're way above this thing. Should just be able to Rage Fist. Yeah. Unfortunately, Nemona hasn't evolved some of her Pokemon that she really should have. You know, I don't even know if her starter's evolved. I think it is. I think her starter's evolved. Yeah, okay. So she at least evolved her starter, but like the Lycanroc sure is evolved, but like it's still kind of underpowered. The Goomy can't evolve yet, but like still underpowered. She could have at least evolved her Palmo into Palmot, but like whatever. We'll keep our current Pokemon. Wow, seeing this Primera, I'm getting backed into a corner right now. Alright. So we're standing up to Nemona decently well. I can probably just Rage Fist and we'll be fine. Time to Terastallize! Watch! I'm gonna make La Primera eyes light up! So, unfortunately, Quaquaval. Oh, I didn't even mention the elephant in the room, or duck, I guess. Quaquaval is the final evolution of Quaxly and Quaxwell. It is a water fighting type, as I already alluded to last episode. And despite being weak to Meowscarada's grass typing, it's super effective against Meowscarada's dark typing. Okay, I'm pulling out all the stops. Get ready. I couldn't read the rest of that. I was too busy. It also comes with the signature move, Aqua Step. So, Meowscarada's signature move obviously never misses and always does critical damage. Quaquaval's signature move is a water-type physical attack that'll raise its speed stat every time it uses it. I'm just gonna send in Florian. Unfortunately, she loses her fighting type, which is actually kind of bad for her, because, you know, now I just match up good with Flower Trick, and I don't quite outspeed because she used Aqua Step, but Meowscarada in general outspeeds Quaquaval, and you can probably one-shot it with Flower Trick, so yeah. Oof, that was a good one. Your move really had some zing to it. Are you saying super effective? Is that the super effective dialogue? I don't know. I'm not a fan of Quaquaval personally. But yeah, Nemona now faces you with the final evolution of the starter. So I'll just say for if you picked Quaxly, she'll be fighting you with a fire ghost type. So keep that in mind for however you want to build your team. And if you pick Fuecoco, she'll be fighting you with Meowscarada. Anyway, people are going to start paying more and more attention to you. I just know it. Okay. Kind of rude to ambush me right after fighting the gym leader. You know, at least you healed me, but it kind of sucks. Anyway, an amazing display of talent, even against one as skilled as Champion Nemona. That was a splendid match. I enjoyed watching it very much. Now even La Primera thinks you're one to watch. You got so much potential. The way you're going, I better watch my back. You know, since the first time we met, I've been weirdly sure of one thing. You're gonna become a champion, no doubt about it. Pun Food. The rest of these gyms, you can take them. 100%, no problem. I agree. In fact, you should take this. Consider it an investment in your future. Terra Blast! I'm not gonna use this ever. Basically, it is, basically the ultimate attack. It's basically, hidden power. Yeah, it's basically hidden power, but for this generation. It only works if you're terrestrialized. Otherwise, it's just a normal type move. But it's... Once you've terrestrialized, it becomes your Terra type, so you can basically terrestrialize to whatever type you want and get whatever coverage you want. And then it also uses your better attacking stat, so you're doing the most damage. Pretty good. You know, it's good in competitive. I don't know how useful it is in single player, especially because, like, she's gonna explain it. If a Pokemon uses that move while terrestrialized, the move's type will change to the Terra type of the Pokemon. Oh, okay. Well, I'll quickly go over why I'm not gonna use it. You know, you can only find Pokemon with one of their two default types having their Terra type of wild Pokemon is going to be one of their two default types. You would have to either go to a Terra raid or grind out Terra shards in order to change your Pokemon's Terra type. I don't have the patience to do either. Well, I could have done the Terra raid, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to show you how you could find the Pokemon in the wild. All that said, I'm not going to use it because it's not too useful to me because the best use for it is coverage, and that's not really something I need. And I only have one TM, so if I decide I do want to use it, I'd rather save it for when I really need coverage. Anyway, one day, Pun Food, you and me are gonna have the greatest battle of all. I know it. I'm gonna go train up even more than I already have been. Alright. She shows you such support and friendship. Or perhaps she hopes you truly might rival her? No, I think it's no mere hope. She seems to have complete faith that you will catch up to her. At any rate, allow me to return you to the gym where I found you. You could drop me off at the Pokemon Center, because, you know, I want to go to the Pokemon Center. But sure, drop me off here. Oh, you fully healed me, actually. Okay, that's fine. So, we're approaching time on this episode. So, I guess let me reassess the situation as it stands. Coming up relatively soonish, I need to get another trainer beaten. I'm gonna heal at this Pokemon Center just to make sure I spawn back here. So, next up on our list of, going in level-based order for this game, we have the Ghost Gym, which is gonna be all the way up this sort of winding road. We're gonna have to get to Montenevera and the Ghost Gym. So zooming out once more, that's gonna require us to leave town sort of north, and we're gonna head up there. We could also theoretically go back here and then up through the mountain, passing by the ice gym and not actually stopping there. That's not the way I like to do it personally. But yeah, we're going to the Ghost Gym next, but the Ghost Gym's level cap is actually 42. We have to do 6 whole levels of training before fighting the Ghost Gym. Like, to put that in perspective, it's like the first gym we fought was 15, then it was 16 for the Titan, then 18 for Grass Gym, you know, then 19, then 21. Like, 1 or 2 levels, right? And then Iono had a 3-level gap at 24, and then another 3 gap at 27 with Mela, then 28 for Orthworm, 30 for Kofu, back to 1 and 2, 3 levels for Atticus and Poison Crew at, 33, and then 3 levels to Larry at 36. But we're all of a sudden jumping up by 6 levels to fight our next gym leader. So that's going to be a lot of training. Luckily, it's all the way up there. That's the ice gym up there. The ghost gym is just around the bend over there. And there's a Pokemon Center over there. We're going to be taking the pathway up the mountain. And of course, I'll be doing that on camera. So I'm going to be trying to get as many levels on my team as possible. But all that's going to happen next time. But for now, my name has been and will be tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. And it always will be Pun Food. Fighting gym leaders and fighting our rival characters, I mean, nothing else can rival the normalcy of that in Pokemon.